Good morning, Bayhawks. We're excited to welcome you to the 25-26 school year. We'd like to take a moment to introduce the admin team. I'm Mrs. Tyler, the principal here at Chesapeake High School.
Good morning, I'm Mrs. Kern. I support students with last names that begin with A through F.
Good morning, welcome back. I'm Mr. McWilliams. I have alphabet G through O. Just remember go for Mr. McWilliams.
Good morning, Bayhawks, and welcome back. My name is Mr. Belinda, and I support students' last names P through Z.
All right, once again, that was our administration team. Please go out and seek any information from them if you have any questions. Good morning and welcome to the BNN Show. I'm your host for today, Mr. Faust. Today is Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. You hadn't noticed right here, we would like to remind all teachers that if you have not done so already, please make sure that you hand out the handbook presentations before we start the handbook presentation, which will be immediately after this show. You just keep the stream on and we go straight to it. All right, we're going to do a head toss. Here we go. Go to camera one, type in our report this morning. Oh my God, we don't have a video switcher. Do we have a video switcher? Just gonna press one? Just to let y'all know. All right, in school news, we want to cordially invite all families and students to attend the Back to School Night. It will be held tomorrow from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Now, this is just a reminder, we have structured the event to provide access to community and school resources while also meeting teachers and touring the building. Once again, please bring your family out to Back to School Night. It will be tomorrow from 6 to 7:30. Also, in school news, attention students, if you have not, I need to move over, there we go. If you are not in the CHS Hub, please make sure that you join. All you have to do is go to the group tab in Schoology and press the My Groups button in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Then on the right-hand side, press the blue Join Group button. If you need that code, please talk to any teacher that have access to that. And if you have any questions, please see your teacher or an administrator. All right, and I'm going to go back down a little bit more because I'm past that administration part. Students, if you are interested in receiving a locker for the 2025-2026 school year, the sign-up is now open. Now, to sign up, please go to the CHS Hub and then click on the Resources tab on the left side of the screen. Then go to the yellow folder that says Student Info and click on the link that says Locker Registration 2025. That is how you receive a locker. Please sign up using that locker registration form in the CHS Hub. Attention students, if you have not taken your picture, today for you is Picture Day. It's going to be during all your English classes. Once again, Picture Day starts today in your English class. I hope you dress to impress. Ladies and gentlemen, the activity bus is back, and we have a new addition. Starting next week, which will be September the 9th, the activity bus will come not only on Tuesdays, but also on Wednesdays. That's right. September the 9th and 10th, we'll have activity buses. So please make sure that you look at the dates. If you have any more questions, please make sure you adhere to seeing the dates provided in this slide. And in club news, are you interested in joining student council? They plan school events, create fun activities, and serve as the voice of the student body. If you want to get involved, share ideas, and make a difference, student council is the place for you. Join the Schoology group and go to their interest meeting. It will be tomorrow at 7:30 a.m., so it's right in the morning. Attention, if you're interested in the world of theater, want to be on stage, or even work behind the scenes, join the drama club. Mr. D'Orazio and the drama club are going to hold their interest meetings next week after school on Wednesday. Excuse me, that is today. Once again, September 3rd is today, so you gotta make sure that if you're interested, go see him. They're gonna be in the choir room at room 7. I do apologize, Mr. D'Orazio. In sports news, attention students, if you're interested in playing allied soccer, please go see Coach Wrightson in room 9. They need players, and if you have never played a sport before, this is a great time and a great intro. Not to mention, we are the champions of our division, so please come out and join the Allied Soccer team. Please see Ms. Rice if you have any questions. We're gonna go to camera 2. Take that out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 9:02, and at this time, you're gonna hear the voice of Mr. McWilliams. Teachers, please make sure that you pass out your handbook for your students. And at this time, we're getting ready to begin the handbook presentation. We'll start in 20 seconds. Until next time, Mr. Faust, have a great day, Chesapeake.
To the annual presentation of the BCPS Student Handbook. The handbook contains the latest information related to behavioral expectations, the discipline process, and much, much more. It is important that you pay attention to this presentation. While there will not be a test or quiz on the information, you will be held responsible for knowing your rights and responsibilities and what is expected of you as a BCPS student. One purpose of the Student Handbook is to provide crucial information to students and their caregivers regarding their rights and responsibilities. Listed here are just some of the rights and responsibilities that students attending Baltimore County Public Schools have. While this is just a list, detailed information regarding these rights and responsibilities are found in the BCPS policies and rules. When it comes to discipline, the policies and rules referenced in the Student Handbook are guided by federal law and state law. The policies that govern the student discipline process are those related to the Code of Conduct, Policy 5500, Student Behavior Policy 5550, Suspensions and Expulsions, Policy 5560, and Reportable Offenses, Policy 5561. School administrators are knowledgeable of these policies and make every effort to abide by them. As students, you should familiarize yourself with the Code of Conduct and abide by it. The BCPS Code of Student Conduct, which is found in Policy 5500, states that students should: 1. Come to school consistently. You do not want to be considered chronically absent. 2. Be active learners. Get involved in your education. Do not just sit by and waste this opportunity to learn for free. Number 3. Bring to school only those things needed for school. And 4. Be positive and respectful. School is what you make of it. If you bring a negative attitude, you will have a negative experience. 5. Take responsibility. Own your mistakes. We all make them. What is important is how we conduct ourselves after making a mistake. And of course, own your education. Advocate for yourself where your education is concerned. Okay, let's talk a little bit about making mistakes. If you slip up and make a mistake, your administrators will have no choice but to implement the discipline process. Policy 5550, which outlines the school system's discipline process, was developed with student success in mind. Within the policy are 3 categories of offenses sorted by severity, because not all mistakes are created equal. Category 1 offenses are the less serious mistakes. These mistakes may result in a suspension out of school or could be handled without a student being removed from school. Category 2 offenses are more serious mistakes. These mistakes tend to result in a suspension from school for up to 10 days. Category 3 offenses are those mistakes most likely to result in a suspension from school with a recommendation for an extended suspension or even an expulsion up to 45 days or more. These mistakes could be criminal in nature and involve the Baltimore County Police Department charging a student. Scope of authority. The Student Code of Conduct and the logical consequences outlined in the Student Handbook apply to all students attending a Baltimore County public school program. The Student Code of Conduct also applies to situations that occur off school property. Students should be aware that this Code of Conduct applies while on field trips, at sporting events, and other extracurricular activities, and on the school buses and while walking to and from school. Regardless of where an incident takes place, school administrators have the scope of authority to intervene if they have reason to believe that the incident has impacted or will impact the school community in a negative manner. It is critically important that students and parents understand the scope of school administrators' authority. Reportable offenses. If a student commits a crime away and apart from the school, the student could be removed from the school. Maryland law allows the superintendent to remove students from their school under certain conditions. 1, if the crime is serious enough. 2, if the superintendent has strong evidence that the student possesses a threat. Or 3, if the crime was committed against a student who attends the same school. Under no circumstances should any student have to come to school every day to see the person who is accused of hurting them. BCPS has a very strong working relationship with the Baltimore County Police Department. The Baltimore County Police Department will report all student arrests to the school system. Please understand that the students' behavior in the community could have an impact on their schooling. BCPS cell phone policy. In high schools, students may possess their phones on school property and during school-sponsored activities. However, students may not use their phones during class. Phones must be put away and out of sight during instruction. Please make sure you are aware of our CHS cell phone policy, which I know your teachers have been sharing with you. Okay, this is new this school year. Category 2, 2Z states that using a personal electronic device to stream or publish on social media a recorded event involving one or more code of conduct violations may result in an out-of-school suspension for possibly up to 10 days. As I said earlier, all school rules apply on the bus and on the bus stop. The Office of Transportation has developed and published a code of conduct that bus drivers, school administrators will continue to use to address misbehavior on the school bus. The code classifies unacceptable behavior into 4 levels and provides potential consequences at each level. Students should know that riding a school bus is a privilege. This privilege may and probably will be temporarily denied or permanently revoked if misconduct jeopardizes the safe operation of the school bus or the safety of students riding the bus. School suspension is also possible for misconduct on the bus. School buses are equipped with cameras that also capture audio. These cameras monitor the passenger area of the bus. As such, students are subject to video and audio recording. The object is to provide an important tool to assist the driver and the administrators in managing student conduct on school buses. Code of conduct reminders. Please be mindful of these 3 things. A student who refuses to be searched can be disciplined. Refusing to let administrators conduct a search does not prevent a student from facing consequences. Actually, quite the opposite is true. A student who refuses a search is setting themselves up for a more serious consequence. Number 2, while state law allows adults to purchase and use cannabis in a responsible way, students are still prohibited from possession, distributing, and using cannabis, even in an edible form. Drugs are drugs. Simply because a drug appears in a more acceptable form does not make it acceptable for students. Students are still prohibited from having and sharing any food products containing drugs. And lastly, students who leave the school during the school day and return could face discipline charges. Administrators may also prohibit them from re-entering the school. Assisting others who are trying to access the building creates a safety risk. Students who let others in the building could face the same consequences as the person who accessed the building. A few more code of conduct reminders. Administrators may prohibit students from re-entering after students have left the building without permission. Allowing students to freely come and go possesses a safety risk. So if you leave the building, please be aware you may not be able to re-enter. Students who are suspended are not permitted on BCPS property. A student who comes to school while suspended or who visits another school could face trespassing charges. And lastly, the telecommunications policy prohibits students from misusing technology. Recording fights and sharing this video is a misuse of technology. Airdropping fights and other graphic content is a misuse of technology. The new language that has been added to the student handbook makes this misuse of technology clear. Students who engage in such practices could receive disciplinary consequences. Attendance monitoring. Students who come to school regularly feel more connected and perform higher academically. For this reason, the State Department of Education monitors students' attendance and categorizes students according to the number of absences that they have. For example, a student who misses less than 11 days for the entire year has a low absentee rate. A student who misses 12 to 17 days for the entire year has a moderate absentee rate. A student who misses 18 or more days for the entire year has a chronic absentee rate. You want to be under 12 days for the entire year. That's less than 4 days per quarter. Stay in that range and you're good. That's it. Now, if you have not done so yet, please log into your device and go to Focus. Once in Focus, on the left-hand side of the screen, find the Forms button. Okay, once you're in Forms, on the left-hand side, click on Student Handbook Acknowledgement. Fill out the required areas and submit the form. Everyone is required to sign this form. By signing the form, you are simply stating that you have received a BCPS handbook. Students are not doing themselves any favors if they do not sign the acknowledgement form. Some students mistakenly believe that if they do not sign the acknowledgement form, they cannot be held accountable for their behavior. That is absolutely not true. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you sign the form, submit. I'm looking forward to having a great school year. Thank you.